Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, High Tea and Happy Hour. Today I'm going to go over a new routine I put in place today, which is Monday, that I'm going to carry through the whole week and hopefully my weeks going forward. If you are not subscribed, please get subscribed and like this video, please. I realized I needed a new morning routine, and I felt like I was being less successful with my day. Like I wasn't getting the most out of my day, whether that be work task or peace or time or whatever it was. I just wasn't at peace with like the flow of my day, the energy of my day, like the peace I got from my day. I was getting things done, but I did not like the manner in which I was getting those things done. Like I'm a huge procrastinator. And I almost I did psych myself out. I used to say, I work best under pressure. I work best with less time. I work best when I put it to the last minute. And that was really just me making excuses for me not wanting to work on that bad habit, right? Like I was just very comfortable in being a procrastinator. I'll just get it done because I know I can get it done. Like anytime it comes down to it, it's getting done, even if I have to pull an all-nighter or whatever. So I was just comfortable in that bad habit. So I was like, not just me, because several things happened. I had that realization. 2, God will always wake me up like early in the morning, like way before my alarm. Like, hey girl, get up, let's do something. Hey girl, let's do something. But I was just so stuck on getting the most sleep I could possible that I was missing that opportunity to be productive, like just really missing the opportunity to set an alarm or just get up with my body and saying, okay, you're refreshed, get up and go do something. I would ignore it and just roll over and go back to sleep. And I wouldn't get up until my husband's alarm went off, and then I would get up after him and help Layla get ready for school and stuff like that. So I never took the signs of being like, not just woken up in the middle of the night, but being woken up with like optimal energy, energy behind I can be productive right now. Like I would just be like, no, I'm going back to sleep. Like it's 4, it's 6. Those are ungodly hours to me. I'm like, nobody is talking to me at this time. I should be asleep. So I would ignore it. The third thing is I was just completely unorganized. Like I would try to write out my day randomly. I was never consistent with it. Like I said, I woke up after my husband got my daughter ready and just kind of jumped into tasks I know I needed to do at the top of my head. And of course, with that system or lack of system, tasks fall by the wayside or tasks get forgotten about because I'm just working on what is a burning fire at the top of my head and putting that out and then moving on to the next day and doing the same thing again. That's that procrastination again. So I wasn't working off of anything. I didn't have any time structures to my day. It was just like, I'm gonna get this done today, and if I don't, I don't. So like I said, completely unorganized. So I said, you know what, Janae, you have to take these 3 things. So they are not light things. They are really big things that probably are life-changing if you choose to make the difference. An honorable mention reason why I'm kind of in the mode of changing my habits is I've just been in a new energy. Like, I don't know, I feel like reinvigorated at a time when I'm usually going into seasonal depression. Like, I feel reinvigorated to really be better and make changes and like do things that only cater to my peace, success, family, and love. Like just really being intentional. Like I can say I'm being intentional, but am I really being intentional if I'm really not making the real intentional strides to be intentional? I can't be. So I said, okay, I got this energy. I have all these things I know I need to change. Let's put them into motion. One thing that I changed off the bat was my mindset on achieving goals and getting to those goals. And this was really a mental thing. It was really setting my mind to, I know that anything that I want, need, see, desire is obtainable to me and attainable to me. Like I can get these things. I know I can. So why am I not making the steps to do it? And if one step it leads to a no, another step leads to a yes, or another open door, whatever it is, if it's been put on my spirit, my mind, or my heart to do it, I need to be making steps to do it. So immediately I had to make that mental shift, and then following that mental shift came my steps. Really, when I have an idea, following that idea, where does that idea take me in this moment? It might be okay, this is where this idea lands for right now, I have to come back to it, and that's fine. But implementing other measures like being more organized helps me go back to that idea and make it flourish, right? So I said, okay, that's my immediate shift. I'm gonna immediately implement that into my life now. Like whenever I think about something, flesh that idea out. Don't let it just go. Boom. Secondly, I said, okay, I have to get back to writing in a way that's comfortable for me. So I said, okay, Janae, you have to start writing, period. Like it just is something that is unavoidable for you. It's something, and not just writing words, but putting pen to paper and drawing, putting pen to paper and doodling. Like writing or putting pen to paper for me is so like releasing. It puts me in such a creative state. Like I just have to do it. Like that's why I'm not just a auditory learner. I just can't do that. Like I have to be able to put pen to paper, write it down, draw it, do whatever I need to do on paper. So I said you have to get back to that. Like that has to be number one, and you have to stay consistent with that, right? So of course I have my 90 Days of Vibes planner, which I love and recommend for any natural busybody. Get it, love it, own it, please. I want all of my loved ones to really own one of these because it really organizes my mind and thoughts, right? I love it, highly recommend it. If you don't have it, shame on you. So I had to get back to writing. And this is like my final landing place. Like I'm inputting my weekly notes. I'm inputting my daily notes and things like that. And then I have my book, another book that I take with me wherever I am, where I need to put random thoughts in, flesh out other notes and things like that. This gets filtered into this. This keeps everything organized. My life is on track. It's beautiful, right? One of my first to-dos on the subject of writing things out was to make sure that I structure myself a good morning regimen that allows my body, mind, and spirit to wake up naturally, not rushed, not, you know what I'm saying, not with that procrastination spirit. Like I just have to jump into something as soon as I open my eyes, and that does not always have to be. And I know, of course, there are going to be times when, every hour of the day is important. I'm going to need it for a project or whatever it is. But as far as my daily regimen in the morning, when I'm setting that peaceful mindset, when I am taking dominion over my home and things like that, I need to set that and make that very structured. Structured in the way of, this is what I should be doing from this time to this time. But not in the way of, if you miss this from 7:30 to 8, your day is off. Okay, so I said, okay, what feels good to me when I wake up? Like just naturally, not what somebody told you should feel good when you wake up, not what somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like what really feels good to me when I wake up. So I doodled out a 6 to 9 slot. So I said, okay, Reese usually gets up between 6:15 and 6:30. Layla doesn't get up until 6:30. I want to get up a little before them just to, meditate, pray over the house, whatever else. Just have time with myself first in the morning, like really setting that time to just be with me, my thoughts, my sounds, my movements, whatever else. So I said, okay, 6 start time sounds good. It's not too early. Now, when I start getting to the 5s, the Lord is still working on me. One day it might get us to 5s. I'm not gonna say it's not, but as of right now, I'm comfortable with that 6 start times. It gives me enough cushion to really, get going before they get up and such. So then I took note of everything that I wanted to do in the morning and approximated how much time I feel like each task or peaceful task should take. And then I set my end time to be 9 a.m. Okay, so 6 to 9, this is my regimen, okay? From 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m., I'm gonna wake up and stretch. Now, the wake up and stretch, of course, is first. But the other things, can switch and swap, right? wake up and stretch, thank God, drink water, meditate for at least 10 minutes. So that is from 6 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Right? Now again, this is personalized to my life, my lifestyle, and how my schedule runs. I'm an entrepreneur. I have a lot of flexibility in my day to be able to even do something like this. So something like this I do look at as a luxury. Time is a luxury, honestly. We all have it. But to really be able to shape your day comfortably, it is a luxury. So I do acknowledge that, and doing this and paying respect to that, but also paying respect to this is also my life and my lifestyle, and I'm curating it in this manner. So from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m., I'll help Layla get ready, I'll get myself ready, and I'll write out my day plan. So something in there may or may not happen, right? So like as far as like writing out the day plan, I started this morning, and I wrote out my day plan on Sunday, so I could kind of start today off a little lighter just to work my way into it. And I potentially could have gotten my day plan, and I feel like I had a few extra minutes. So no, it would have still worked out. Yeah, so that would have been comfortable. That feels comfortable still. So yes, I helped Lady get ready, I got myself ready, and I had a little cushion time to either write out my day plan or not, because I still have time in other parts of my day to do that if I need to. And then from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., I'm going for a walk and reading. And that was really important for me because I do want to find time to read daily. But I just feel like with everything else that is swirling up in the air, I never really find concrete time to read. Or it just gets pushed off to the next day, and then the next day, then the next week, and the next month. And God, I haven't read words for years. I'm joking. So yes, walk and read. And that's another luxury of just living in a moderately safe community. It's not the best, but it's moderately safe enough. I feel comfortable with taking a walk in the morning and reading. So yes, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. reading and walking, followed by yoga and a workout. Shower. No, first speech therapy, which I have a natural lisp, and also because of some dental work, I feel like part of my tongue has weakened, so it affects my speech sometimes, and I definitely want to work on that intentionally. A part of making myself better and presenting myself better and well. I definitely want to work on that and have that be a daily thing. So I want to work that into my schedule. Like that's what I want it to look like, So speech therapy, and then shower, and then my day starts at 9 a.m. So like I said, I did run through this morning. It worked out really well. I feel refreshed. I feel like I got so much done between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. And that started with intentionally setting alarms. Something about me is I hate setting alarms. Like if I could not, I would not. And setting an alarm actually feels, I don't know, like it feels, not setting an alarm actually feels refreshing sometimes. And that's a bad thing, because not that it's a bad thing, but I feel like this morning I woke up with a different energy because I felt like I was having control over my day. Like I wasn't just kind of just like getting up. This is what time I'm getting up intentionally to do A, B, and C. That felt good, So I set me an alarm for 5:50. I made sure my windows were open before I went to sleep. And when I woke up at 5:50, I kind of just stayed in bed because I had a second alarm set for 6 a.m. So that I could just stay in bed for 10 minutes before, look out the window, close my eyes for a second if I wanted to, open them back up, start meditating, start thanking God, start doing these things, start putting myself into the mindset of just kind of getting my body up, naturally and without rush, like having to like literally get up at the drop of a dime when the alarm goes off shocks my body. And that's part of the reason why I think I hate alarms, because like I'm like always getting up when I need to get up. It's not just get up and lay there for a second, relax and open your mind up and open your eyes and those type of things. It's like, let me get up right now, and that's not fun. So it really started with setting my alarm this morning. And then I got up. I woke up and stretched in front of the window. Make sure that I'm looking out the window. I open my blinds. Make sure I'm looking out the window. I'm stretching. I'm thanking God. I'm starting to get into that meditative state. I come out into the living room and kitchen and I drink water and I get right into meditation for 10 minutes. Which, meditation, I never thought I was one for it, because every time at the end of yoga when we would have that kind of, closing meditation, sometimes I would fall asleep. I'm sorry. Because I having my mind be still for my body means that it's time to go to sleep. And even still, when in my sleep, my mind still runs. So it's like being in that state of nothing, really being intentional on your mind, makes me sleepy, or used to make me sleepy. But I tried meditation recently after listening to a podcast that kind of said, you just got to do it. You got to start training your mind to be able to focus on your breath, or on a particular thought that you put on your mind for at least 10 minutes. Like you have to start to do that, at least start to try to do that. It makes your brain work better. It makes your mind and body work better. So I said, okay. So I tried it then, and it worked, and it was easy. And that was the thing that kind of shocked my mind and my body, because I sat there for 10 minutes. It almost felt like the 10 minutes went by fast, because I was just focusing on, and then when my mind would try to wander to something I needed to do, or try to break down a process that I needed to go through, I was like, think you got it. Just to refocus my mind, And like I said, it was easy, and it wasn't hard, and it made the thought of it not so bad anymore, So trying that again this morning, it went by just the same way, easy. I was able to focus my mind, or refocus my mind when I needed to, and it was great. It was great. Of course, helped Layla. Like I said, I didn't get to write out my day, but it was possible. My walking reading is what I want to get into. So at basketball practice Saturday morning, one of the parents walked up to me and was like, I have a gift for you. And I'm like, okay, I love gifts. I'm excited. It's one of my love languages. I love gifts. And I also love to gift people, which is why it is one of my love languages, because you kind of exude what you want, right? So gift me. But anyway, so she walks up, she says she has a gift for me. I'm overly excited. And she gives me this book. And she's like, she has a letter inside. And she's like, it's a letter inside. So I said, oh my God, I can't wait to read. She said, no, read it now. I said, okay. Whew, this is a lot of pressure. Jesus, do I need to read it out loud too? I'm joking. I'm joking. But she wrote this beautiful letter about just being so thankful to have us, and like just watching the road that we're on, me and Maurice, and the program growing, and just us staying on course for our dreams, and just to read this book for further inspiration, and just, it was just such a beautiful letter, and I was so thankful. And she's just always such a sweet soul to us anyway. I wouldn't expect anything less from her anyway. Anyway, she gave me this book, and it's with the intention that we read it, reread it if we need to, and then when we feel like we've really obtained what this book is trying to teach us, or get through to us, pass it on to somebody else, as she did. Sorry, my phone is going off. Pass it off to somebody else, as she did. So I'm like, okay, great. And I look at the book, and the title has already caught my attention, because everything in my universe, everything in my world has been focusing on this. And the book is called Think and Grow Rich, okay? Anybody who has talked to me in the last, I don't know how many couple of months, as I've been going through this kind of period of changing seasons, right? Anybody who has talked to me knows that I am all about thinking in the mindset of where I want to be. Like, my mind is there. I'm putting my body mentally there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking and growing rich. And to have this confirmation for somebody to also see that in you and be like, you know what? I see this for you, and I just want you to stay on that course and stay inspired, um, was crazy, like, powerful to me. Crazy powerful. So yes, this book is called Think and Grow Rich, and this is what I brought along on my walk today and became immediately obsessed with. I can see why it is done as well as it's done. This is not the first time I heard of this book, but it is the first time I have picked it up to read it, and I am in awe. I got past the two prefaces, and then I started chapter 1. And if you don't have the book, I mean, like, just a mindset shift. I mean, I know that you're probably, if you follow my page, you've heard me say this a million times, or my other page with my husband and family and daughter, happy family, happy life. I just literally don't speak life. I don't like speaking death over anything, and that includes my kid. Like, people be calling their kids anything, and I just be like, because, like, you're labeling your kid. That's putting energy on your kid. That's putting, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're labeling them. You, as their mother, their father, their whoever, like, you're putting a label and an energy on your own kid. Words have energy. And, like, I could not use my words to degrade, bring down the image or the energy of my child. Like, I just could not. So anyway, that's just one example. But I must speak life. I'm going to speak life. I'm not going to speak death. I just have to speak life on everything. Because honestly, you speaking death only applies negative to it. Like, only applies negative. So thinking and growing rich. And in the preface, in the beginning of the book, he talks about it's going to be this reoccurring theme that's never really defined in the book, but if it's in you and if you're ready to identify the theme, you'll get it on impact. And I got somewhat past the beginning, and then I got into chapter 1, and it kind of confirmed to me, like, I know what he's talking about, and I cannot wait to get through this book, to read all the idioms and stories and facts behind what he is presenting, this theme that he's presenting. I'm so excited. Like, I am so excited, you know? So yeah, did that on my walk. So aside from just writing out my new morning regimen, which I'm so excited about, Maurice texted me and was like, I'm so inspired by your regimen. You know, it's making me want to do one of my own. And that's really what things are about. Really, like, spreading the love, spreading the comfort, spreading the peace. So aside from writing out my new morning regimen, I do have to be more intentional about getting my weekly outline out by Saturday or Sunday for myself. You know, like, what is it really that I need to do? Carrying over tasks from last week, really looking back over my notes, really being intentional about it, right? So I wrote my weekly outline out. So today I'm going to work on packing. My best friend's 30th birthday is going to be in Costa Rica this year. So I have to pack for that because that is coming up soon. While I'm packing for that, though, I'm going to also organize my closet. So I think I'll vlog that. I'm going to organize my closet because a part of going away on trips is also coming back, right? And I want to control the energies that surround me. I don't want to just leave things by the wayside and let the energies be what they are, right? And what feels good to me coming home from a trip is a clean house. Not coming back into chaos, not coming into confusion, not coming into clutter, you know? So I want to be intentional throughout this weekend, organizing where I can, cleaning where I can, you know, just planning for the energies that I'm walking back into. So I'm going to spend today packing and organizing my closet, like I said. But then aside from my weekly outline, I just write down an overall task list, right? And this allows me to not overcrowd my day and make my day realistic. So I said I'm going to pack and organize my closet. Also, I had planned Friendsgiving, and I mean, like, decor and stuff like that. So if I finish those things in a comfortable amount of time, and what I mean by comfortable amount of time is I still have time left in my day to be productive, or I still have that productive energy around me before Layla comes home after school and Maurice is settled in after work. Alright, So my camera cut off because they said you was talking too much, girl. You was talking too much, girl. I don't know where it cut off yet, but I make my weekly outline, and then I make a task list that can filter in anywhere throughout the week. But they are things that I want to complete by the end of the week. But this also allows me not to overcrowd my day, right? So, like I said, I'm going to pack and organize my closet. I also have planning Friendsgiving out, which means like the decor and really solidifying the ingredients and budget for that event. But then I have other things on my task list that if I get done in a comfortable amount of time, before Layla gets home from after school and Reese has done his work task for the day, I'll filter these things in. Okay, let's start working on some of these things that are on my task list that can just filter in throughout the week, right? So that felt so great to me, getting that pumped out yesterday, which was Sunday, and getting that done. And I mean, I feel on top. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like I have control. And the thing about it is, this type of control feels good because it's catering towards my peace. It's not really like control over every little thing that happens throughout the day. It's control over, okay, if things don't get done, it wasn't meant to happen that day. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, they just self-eliminated because, well, refer to point A1. I feel really good about going forward with this. Like I said, I'm going to hop into my closet and packing. I'll bring y'all with me. And of course, too, let me circle back. If you have not gotten this planner, 90 Days of Vibes planner, please purchase, please. That would mean a lot to me. Designed it for the natural busybody in mind. Also, I mean, this is not my book, but Think and Grow Rich is where it's at. So if you have not experienced this book, please get into it, please. I'm already obsessed. Like I said, I'm only part of the way through chapter 1. Like, who am I to be an advocate already? I can get into chapter 3 and they can say fuck you, and I'm joking. I'm joking. That's wild. Of course, I'll be updating you on how successful I feel like this regimen and new structure is. I'm pretty sure it's going to be uber successful because of just the energy I feel around it already. So, I mean, subscribe, follow me around. You know, I do a lot of stuff. I'm an interior designer. I'm an event planner. Okay, let me go back for a sec. So, a part of my new kind of moving into a new season is really trying to clearly identify what vibe feels the best for me. Like, just clearly, like clear enough that I can say it, I can write it down. What really feels best for me? And before, I was feeling like I didn't know what it was, or I couldn't identify it, because in reality, I knew what it was, but I felt like people wouldn't understand it, number one. Number two, respect it. Number two, or number three, agree that this is what this should look like. And honestly, I should not care about number one, number two, or number three. That's just the reality of the situation, because I'm the only one who can really fully curate my life, you know? And if something is really feeling good in my spirit, in my mind, body, and soul, who is anybody else to tell me what something should feel like in all actuality, right? So I am an interior designer by trade, right? Because I was educated. I have my bachelor's of science in interior design. I have my master's of science in sustainable design. So that's who I am by trade. When I start going into event planning, I really had to think about, who are you in that room? And really trying to narrow down what my brand does, how my brand comes across, and what I really want to get out of it in my end goal, right? I had to circle back around to when I first jumped into this space, what was I doing it for, and what was really the goal? And when I first jumped into entrepreneurship, I said, even though it sounded crazy as hell to me in that moment, and also it shouldn't have sounded so crazy to me because people are doing it, but for me it just felt like, Janae, this doesn't seem like this is possible for you right now. It sounded crazy. So when I jumped into entrepreneurship, I said, I don't want to be paid by clients, meaning I don't want a client to book me to redo their home, to book me for their parties. I want brands to pay me for having fun with my friends and doing the shit that I do. Basically to inspire, to whatever. Like, I want brands to pay me to be an inspiration and to have fun and live a peaceful life with my core, with my family, my friends, my core. That sounded crazy to me. Like, how do you explain it to somebody? I am working to be I am working to be paid by brands so that I can have fun, live my beautiful ass life. That's what I'm working to do. How do you explain that to people, for real? And have them be like, okay girl, you got it. Like, you explain about putting the work in and being consistent in your lane and really working towards that thing. Even though it looks crazy, you stay consistent. I had that goal in front of me, right? I never really worked on that goal. I immediately jumped into entrepreneurship and sent myself in other directions. And I can't even say those other directions did not give me value or give me learning lessons and things that I'm taking into the space that I am now. But I also felt like me doing and catering things to what I felt like people wanted to see or would respect pushed me further away from the goal, or pushed me further away from it, which means I don't feel like I'm getting to it in the time that I should be if I would have just stayed on course, just stayed on brand, just stayed where I felt comfortable. Well, no, I'm not gonna say comfortable, where I felt I should have been going. So now circling back around to today, when I identify myself as an event planner, I'm like, Janae, but do you really want to be an event planner for other people? Is that something that you really have as a goal? Or does that sound good to other people? Does that sound good when you apply a skill to offer as a service to other people? Then rather than just doing it for your curated lifestyle, you know, like literally, like I literally just have fun, create and vibe spaces for the people that I love in my core. So going back to being an event planner, I was like, okay, I have to really narrow down what do I mean when I'm in that space. Like, what do I mean? And what I narrowed myself down to being, it's a fly in here terrorizing me. When I narrow that down, what that actually means for my brand is I'm an intimate vibe curator, but it's not as a service. It's just literally what I love to do. I'm literally just that by passion. I'm an intimate vibe curator. I love to create spaces for the people that I love. I love for those spaces to love on them. I love for them to feel an experience or engulfed in an experience when they're there. That's my specialty, and that's what I do. So when I say event planner, I really just mean an intimate vibe curator, or just a vibe curator, period. Because when you think about vibe curating and you move that into space curating, that's really what interior design is. Literally, like architecture is curating. Like all of these things are still curating. So I'm literally a curator. So when I sign off and I say, hey, get subscribed to High Tea and Happy Hour, I'm a blah 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 blah, all I really need to say is I'm literally a curator, vibe curator, space curator, lifestyle curator. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. No, but for real, get subscribed, like this video, please stick around. I have more to come, plenty more to come. And I'll talk to y'all soon.